You're listening to On the Verge on WTVU. BU's only music and talk show, bringing you the latest in campus life, entertainment news, and trending topics worldwide, with stories from Verge campus and new music from Good Music All Day. Everything you want to hear,
minus what you don't.
Every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Don't let this be our final song.
Got a live band. Amazing.
So good.
Oh, shoot. Was the mic on? Whoops.
Oh,
snap. Surprise is ruined. Welcome back to On the Verge, the official music and talk show of Verge Campus VU. We've had an awesome show, fantastic show this Saturday morning.
Doing great, guys.
If you missed the beginning, we had headlines and hashtags with DJ Ladybug. Then we played some music. We had a fun phone call from one of our Boston breakthrough artists, Roland. Definitely check out vergecampus.com for more on him. Then Danny McCarthy, blogger extraordinaire, came in for Just College Things. And now for our final segment, my favorite segment, our featured artist of the episode. And we have Los Elk on today.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone's having a good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
Yeah, and they just gave you a little preview of what they're going to be playing for us later on. We're super stoked. This is our first in-studio performance, and I'm hype about it. So how are you guys doing?
We're doing really well.
We're doing all right.
Thank you for having us.
I've had better days.
Long night last night. We're not usually up this early.
No
It's nice to be
worries.
here.
We very much appreciate you coming at
Thanks for having us.
the wee early 10 a.m.
There are people who went to yoga at 6, so we can't really talk.
Perspective. So why don't you give us a little background about your band? When did you form? Genre,
That whole thing.
all the boring stuff.
Sure, I'll take it.
You want?
Ryan, everybody calls him Bondi. Bondi, he's our drummer.
Hi, guys.
Bondi and I met pretty much first day of college. He was wearing a band t-shirt of a band I really like, so I went right up to him and I was like, oh my god, you know this band? Yeah, I know this band. We decided to meet up. He brought a friend in to play bass, who was actually playing guitar, which was doubled as a bass. So we didn't even have a bass player when we first met up. It was the three of us. And I don't know, our first practice sparks just kind of flew. We were very musically, I don't know, our sounds were really conducive, what we like to play, what we like to jam on. So it just made sense. I met a bass player in a guitar shop. He was playing bass, I was playing guitar. We started jamming. We brought him in. And so, yeah, we were this freshman Skidmore band. We played for 4 years, started gigging around and doing little mini tours. We started playing in Boston and New York a lot. We made it to Philly, Connecticut, and had residency at the venues in Saratoga. So that was a lot of fun. When we graduated, 2 of our members left, and we brought in my dear friend Moose here, who I've been playing music with for the last 10 years. And then we had a guitarist for a year. He moved to LA, and now Leticia, fresh out of Brazil,
Hi, Leticia.
is here joining us on guitar, and we got some girl power in the band now, so that's super cool.
Diversity.
Yeah.
Wait, can everyone just go through their nicknames for a second?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many. We'll have to pick one for the moment,
Okay.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Top nickname.
For me, the main one is Bondi, B-O-N-D-I. Certainly not a Y, which I see a lot of times. I don't get it. B-O-N-D-I, that's me, Bondi. Hi, hello.
Wait, give us the story. Each person give us a story.
My last name is Bondell, B-O-N-D-E-L-L.
Okay.
And when I was in 6th grade, my best friend at the time, he just called me Bondi, and it really resonated with me. And everyone just started calling me Bondi, and it's the craziest thing because it just never dropped. And here I am many years later, and it's still Bondi, and I love it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, my name's Gabriel. I play bass for Los Elk right now. But
Many people call me the Moose. The Moose. Yeah. Moose. It's a very common nickname given to me by this man right here.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
With any purpose, symbolism?
It's just, I guess, like my dynamic and like the way I look sometimes, I guess.
Just a little moosey?
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
Yeah.
I feel it.
It's the mannerisms. You should see him in the morning, moosing around the house. It's a beautiful sight, majestic creature, really.
I love to graze.
Yeah. Don't anger him. They're very powerful.
We'll get the antlers.
My name's Amir, but people call me Slam in the band context.
Don't forget Slam Fram, Cisco Disco,
Slam-
who threw that.
Yeah, there are many nicknames.
Wow.
I have the word Slam tattooed on my body somewhere, so that he started calling me Slam, which is a whole nother story.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Ooh.
Learning new things.
Band bonding, thanks to On the Verge.
That's funny. And my name's Leticia, and the story of my nickname, because people call me Cheese, is when I try to explain how to pronounce my name, I say Leticia. You just have to think of cheese to say it right.
And
So then
people only
just,
think
like,
of cheese.
Yeah. Just go cheese.
Now,
love
anytime
it.
she walks into our house, she has this weird routine where, because we always tell her, like, you can just walk in. We really don't lock our doors at all. But she still insists on ringing the bell, and then she'll open the door like a warning. So it's always these three sounds. It's doorbell, door open, and then she goes, cheese in the house. So we just always know. It's a great way to welcome a friend.
Oh my gosh, amazing. So talk us through like just coming together in terms of sound. I know you said that you were pretty cohesive from the start, but what was kind of like your vision, I guess, for the group and where you wanted to take it?
Well, I mean, that's always an interesting question. I think that happens a lot. Whenever somebody asks me about what our sound is or anything like that, I always have somewhat of a difficult time answering that, because I think part of being in a band and part of making music is that the vision is always growing and it's always changing, and what you're listening to is always going to be changing, and that's one of the biggest things that's going to affect how you play, and what you're making is what are you listening to. But the certain things are going to stick with you forever. Like, what were you listening to when you first started playing your instrument? Because that really colors what kind of musician you wind up being. And I remember when Slam and I first met, and the particular band T that he was talking about was this European band called Kasabian, and not very big in the States, but those kind of common things that are your musical fundamentals. So we have a lot of like Red Hot Chili Pepper fans in the band, and that's a huge, we have a lot of funky elements to our music which come from that, but like not just kind of like funky, like pretty, bubblegum pop funky. It's kind of like a little bit more like gritty funky, and we get a lot of that from the Chili Peppers, I think. And anyone feel free to step in if they disagree, but I feel like a lot of that comes from that. Old school Kings of Leon, we're huge Kings fans, and just things like that. But in terms of our musical vision, I think it's always growing, always changing. We just like to make music that makes us feel good, and most importantly, at least for my end, at least I like, when we play shows, I want people to just feel good when they're listening to it. I want them to experience something. They don't need to be happy per se. They don't need to be, jumping up and down every song, but I just want them to be feeling something. I think that's one of the greatest things that music can do, is it can elicit emotions and just make you feel certain ways. And, what better thing to do with a craft than, elicit emotions in other people. So I think that's really what we just try to do, is just make stuff that makes us feel good and makes other people feel anything at all as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So did you kind of start building your fan base by putting out music first, like a lot of artists now use like SoundCloud and stuff like that? Or did you try doing shows first and from there building a following?
We were definitely at college show-based. Yeah. It's pretty expensive to get into a studio also. You don't necessarily want to record something in its first phases. Mm-hmm. But when we finish a song, we usually give it about a month or 2 months before we even consider recording it, because we know that right now we think it's done, but we may think of something on stage. We may just accidentally play something that works way better in practice. And so if you record it, it's kind of, there it is. People have it that way, and it's pretty hard to go back and change that. So we would actually do a lot of live shows and test things out 3 or 4 times live before even considering taking it to the studio. So we were all about the live thing, and that's actually kind of a big part of our band identity is it's definitely dancing and the live experience, where we started as pretty much specifically a dance rock band, and it's grown a lot from there. And I think we've matured as musicians a lot and brought in two of the best musicians I've had the honor of playing with. So it's definitely grown a lot. But we still have the theme of getting people up and dancing. No matter what age, creed, or denomination, you're going to come to the Los Elk show. You're going to get a little sweaty. It's going to be a fun time.
Oh, yeah. Some of my best memories of shows, because I definitely, exactly like Sam said, we were 100% gig-based when we first started. I mean, keep in mind, too, that when we first started, we were 18 years old. And a lot of this stuff was just very fresh and raw creative energy, people that you really just met, because this is freshman year of college. I met them on the first day of school. So when you first get together with someone in a creative setting like that, I mean, it's just, the creativity is just dripping and oozing out of every pore.
It's kind of like the honeymoon period.
Yeah. And I'll never forget, honestly, when we first started writing and getting together, it was just, I think it still is, but just flying out and pouring out. So we're just gigging all the time.
Heart eye emoji.
Yeah, right. It was kind of like a double life, like we had just Monday through Thursday, work. Skidmore was a very hard school. We worked our butts off. And then come the weekend, we'd disappear and go to New York or Boston or Philadelphia or Connecticut or New Jersey, New Hampshire, wherever, usually East Coast stuff, but we'd be gone. I'd made a lot of school sacrifices, missed a lot of presentations and projects and stuff like that, but this is our career.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. I was about to ask how much your musician life and college life blended during that time, because we've done a lot of interviews with kids from Berkeley, who their college life is their life as a musician. They're basically one thing. So what were kind of the challenges of juggling both, and did your college experience kind of shape you as an artist too? Did you draw from that ever?
Yeah, I mean, take your pick in terms of the difficulties. I mean, I think, and that's one of the biggest differences, because especially now living in Boston and being surrounded by so many Berkeley folk, it's very interesting to see their experience versus ours, because like you just said, for them, they're there to do the music, so it's one and the same. For the rest of us who don't go to a conservatory, it's really, really tough to balance that, because you're trying to do this thing that ideally becomes full-time and becomes a thing that supports you and just is your main squeeze, your main thing. But at the same time, you have an obligation to your academics to, uphold and to honor and to do the best you can. So, like Amir said, I mean, a lot of time. I'll be honest. I'll be the first to admit that I, missing presentations, not doing homework, skipping class because I got to go to a show, stuff like that. So it's tough. It's tough to find that balance. And I think that continues even post-grad, because we've been graduated now, at least from Skidmore, for 2 years. And that continues into regular life. I mean, I think it's somewhat of a fantasy to think that you can just kind of run off and play music and everything's dandy. I mean, there's the reality of, things that need to get done in your day-to-day. And I think that's one of the biggest things about being a musician and trying to pursue that, is that if you're serious about that, you need to own those obligations and those sacrifices, and you need to take it in stride, because if it were easy, everybody would do it. And this is what we call paying our dues, and we've had many, many years of it, and we'll have many, many more years of it. We've only just begun. And paying your dues is honestly just something that cannot be avoided. So you need to take it with a smile, because if you don't, it will absolutely tear you apart, because it is a tough life to live trying to do it all at once. So you need to just, so you just need to do your best.
A lot of doing homework backstage, I remember, doing readings and shitty bar, excuse me, sorry, and terrible, and terrible bar light or stuff like that. And it was really tough. But there are great things about going to Skidmore. That's not a conservatory, small liberal arts. For me, musically, I get the most inspired by. I mean, I love listening to musicians for inspiration, but I get inspired by writers or by engineers, architects, people who do things that are so different from what I do, that when I see them doing their talent, whether it's art or simply just they're working through an intense math problem, that really inspires me.
Yeah.
Something that I can't fully wrap my head around. I understand music well enough to listen to it and be like, oh, that's this chord, I like it for this reason. When I see somebody building a robotic hand or painting something, that blows me away and will oftentimes inspire a song. So it's cool going to school with other artists and different types of intellectuals.
Was there a big music community there or not really?
Small school, big community.
Okay.
Very nucleic, kind of competitive actually. I also found that there was a big divide between kind of the arts scene and the sports scene. So I think we kind of tried to bridge that gap because we'd play parties of like the lacrosse guys or the, so and kind of just be like, look, we're just here to represent our school and play fun party music. This isn't about being artsy or pretentious. We're not hipsters. We're just musicians. We're just.
Yeah.
That being said, I think we also, and maybe I'm wrong, I'd actually like to hear your opinion, but I think we also, as a band on campus when we first started, we got a lot of hate. I'll be honest, we did.
Yeah, totally.
We had a lot of people that didn't like what we were trying to do. I
Really?
think that,
It's a good
for
sign.
sure.
Well,
I think they
Skidmore's very
interpreted.
hip, and like they love the Brooklyn sound, and we make pop music. I think a lot of people had a problem with that.
I don't know what it was because I never really understand why anyone hates on anything anyone's doing, first off, but second off, like, no, but really, but then second off, like, to be hating on someone for doing an art that they love, like, seems very
Yeah.
counterintuitive for, like, a small community-based school. And I think that maybe a piece of it was, like Amir said, it was somewhat of a competitive scene in terms of music. Not that people were kind of trying to one-up or best each other, but just the fact that because it was a small community, you're all kind of going after the same
Goal.
the same goal, and you're all competing in the same pool of things,
Yeah.
gigs, interviews, things like that. And I hope what I'm about to say doesn't come across as cocky or arrogant or whatnot, but by the time we'd hit our hot streak, we were, playing a lot of those opportunities because we were very, very lucky and very blessed, and people were responding to what we were doing, and they wanted to hear more of it, and I'm so happy that they did. But then the backlash of that was a lot of other artists in the community on the down low were very kind of harsh on us, and I'll never forget at one point there was, I don't even know where this was on some blog, some comment on something that had just spurred into this huge page after page of comments about arguments about Los Elk. And there are people defending us, people hating us, those careerist, jerks and pigs, and taking all this stuff, those mother, and then other people like, no, they're just trying to do their thing, like, and I was like,
Perfect
wow.
for a political episode.
Yeah, I was honestly just touched that people like cared enough to say anything. I was like, there in the library, I was like, all right, that's kind of cool.
Honestly, I feel like you've made it if you have haters, because that means you're relevant.
Sure, yeah.
So that's one of our jokes now. We like to go, Los Elk sucks.
So tell me your most memorable show experience in college.
Okay.
Or recently, if you have a better one recently.
Here,
but
Gabe, do you want to tell a
I
recent one?
kind of
Or
like
we'll
the
tell a
college
one?
stories.
Yeah, the recent one, since I wasn't blessed to play with you guys in college, but the most recent show, which was so much fun, I think about it all the time, was we played with this other Boston-based band, Ripe, on a boat cruise around the Boston Harbor.
Oh, sick.
And that was in August, and we had the guitarist before Leticia joined us. Dan, he had been playing with us for a little over 6 months, and like that was his last show with us, and it was so much fun. We had all of our best friends out there on this boat. It was rocking back and forth. We were rocking back and forth. And it was just amazing.
Also, a little caveat: it was the boat was docked at in the seaport, and our friend, our buddy Louis Fedora, his family owns the Daily Catch, which, if you guys don't know, shameless promotion here, is the best seafood in Boston. I mean, it is so good. No, hands down.
Sure.
It's award-winning. It is the Daily Catch. The fish you're eating was alive that morning. It's so good. So anyway,
Daily Catch.
yeah, he paid me to. Brought to you. Next, you won't believe about this Old Spice I'm wearing. No, so we go to the Daily Catch, which has a view of the boat, and so Louis, our buddy, owns a restaurant, so he's just like, hey, let me send you out some stuff. He sends us out lobster fra diavolo, like lobster pasta for free and free drinks.
Oh my.
So here we are, and there's outdoor seating on the water. So here we are eating lobster, watching people load equipment onto the boat from across the dock that we're about to get paid to play on. And I was like, I know we didn't make it, but it sure feels like it. This is pretty cool. Getting free lobster before your boat cruise show and then getting paid for that.
Watching your laborers.
Yeah, right. So that was really cool. In college,
There's so
many.
many. A couple like fun, in retrospect, they were nightmares at the time, but like funny to look back on as grown ones. I have a lot of those. Let's see which one. One of my favorites was there was this one show every year back at Skidmore, and it's called Fun Day. Kind of think of it like a spring fling type affair, just kind of celebration of warm weather and the end of the year, and everyone just comes out all day, music and fun. And I'm looking.
Absolutely.
PG. Yeah. But so it was kind of like I said before, how everyone competes for the same shows, and this was one of those ones where like, yo, did you get Fun Day? Did you get Fun Day? Because really the whole school showed up, a couple thousand people there, and it's a good gig to get. And got to work really hard for it, practice for weeks and weeks and weeks, getting nice and tight. So here we are, finally, day of the show. Everyone's hyped. I'm hyped. Here we go. And I'm like, I'm looking at my watch. It's getting kind of close to showtime, and Amir is nowhere to be found.
Oh no.
But that's okay. I know he's a responsible guy, and when push comes to shove, he'll make it on time, even if it's a minute before. But I couldn't find him. And we're giving him phone calls. It's I'm looking at my watch. It's really getting time, and nowhere to be found. And so we're about to walk on stage, and they're like cueing us. They're like, all right, guys, you ready to go on? You're up. Like, walk on stage, load up. And he's still nowhere to be found. I'm calling him, going straight to voicemail. I say, oh my gosh, he's passed out somewhere. We're gonna have to get creative with how to rock this show. I don't even know what's going on. And luckily, last moment, I'm just kind of doing one last search around this big like open field, just kind of looking around. I'm like, please just show up. And I see Amir just kind of like rolling in the grass with this dog, just kind of like on his own, just cloud nine, just having the best day of his life. And I run up to him, I'm like, dude, what's going on? And he just was looking around like, what's up? What's going on? Is there someone got to do? It's like, dude, let's go. And he grabs his stuff, and we go up there, and that show was interesting, and there was some good moments from that show, but I just look back on that very, very fondly. A lot of moments like that where you're sweating, but it's a laugh at the end of the day.
Amazing. That story did not. I did not expect that ending.
But I learned a lot from that day.
Amazing.
Let's see. I liked. We were in a basement. We played a show. It was so packed in the basement. There were so many kids, and it was so hot. It's our freshman year that the sweat would evaporate. It'd be so hot, and then it would condensate.
Like recondense.
Yeah, recondense on the the piping, the metal piping. So now you can look up and it's just dripping wet. And it's raining on the crowd. So it was so hot that it started raining sweat indoors. I could just see it because there were like green lights inside, so I could just see the drops of sweat. People created their own sweat rain. And we all just bathed in each other's sweat rain. It was so punk rock. No, it was awesome.
Something about that is so culty. I don't know.
Very visceral. We have footage from that night, actually.
On that beautiful note, do you guys want to play a little? I don't want to run out of time.
We'd love to.
All right, go for it.
Cool. We all in tune still?
And by the way, this one is called Black and Blues. Yep. It's off our most recent 3-song EP, which for anyone who has it, it's on Spotify, it's on SoundCloud, it's on iTunes, all that good stuff. The EP is called Fade, and this is one of our tracks off it, so we hope you dig it.
Yeah.
I'm ready when you are.
Cool. I'm ready when you are.
Do it.
You ready, Cheese?
I'm ready.
You hit me like a bruise. I love your black and blues. I get you when I'm pain. You're always gone too soon. Let's make use of every room. I put it on the tape. We miscommunicate, not how I operate. 'Cause once is not enough. I picture us falling for the keys, stumbling through the door, talking with our eyes. for self-abuse, but something that I'm used to. I'm not like other guys who put on a disguise, yeah, trying to seduce. We don't miscommunicate, not how I operate. 'Cause once is not enough. I picture us falling for the keys, storming through the door, talking with our eyes. Come on, drinking what you like, staying up all night. Let's see what we can do about it. And I know she wanna give it up. And I know that she knows that I know that she knows. And I swear I'm never giving up on you, never giving up on you. I picture us falling for the keys, storming through the door, talking with our eyes. Come on, thinking what you like, staying up all night. Let's see what we can do about it. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Did you like?
Yes.
You like?
I went in
You like?
here
We do
like
for
totally
you.
blind. I didn't listen to you guys because I like to be surprised. And that was so
what'd you think?
good.
First impressions,
That
I always
was
like to get
really
them.
good.
Be
I was
brutally
listening to
honest.
that song coming into the studio, and that was like so surreal and weird, and I love it.
I like want to punch myself in the face because Latifah this week asked me to go to your show with her and I couldn't go. Oh.
So good. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, can we hear what you thought?
Which show is this?
Oh, the Berkeley show.
Got it.
Yeah, I went a couple nights ago. Oh my God, like, you guys, their stage presence is unreal. Like, I could tell you guys were having so much fun up there, and it just made me so happy. Like, I don't know,
mad
those artists are
jealous.
just so like, oh, like I gotta look cool while I'm up here. Like, no, you guys were having like the time of your lives. And, like,
Didn't
the
look cool at
audience
all.
was you guys are so cool. No, it was just such a fun show.
Oh,
like,
thank
I was
you.
just
Thanks
so
so
Thanks
much.
for
felt
coming
like I was
on a Tuesday. That's
experiencing
rad.
something with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy.
Thank
It was so
you.
good.
Good. Well, welcome to the family.
Yeah, and this is a slightly different setup for us. I mean, we've got 2 acoustics going, and I'm on, for those who are listening, just a floor tom and a shaker. So usually we have a full electric setup, and the vibe is a little different, but we love doing things like this because it just gets at a different vibe. So we love doing that. So thanks
honestly,
again for having us.
Of course. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
When they walked in earlier with all their equipment, we were like, yo, what is happening? We've never experienced this before. But you like
Did you know they were
completely
performing?
killed it.
Because I didn't know they were performing.
I mean, Latifah told me, but I thought it was
I
going to
didn't
be
know.
like,
Like a couple guitars, like
like a chill thing. Very cool.
We decided not to wheel in the piano, so.
Hey, you told me there was going to be a gospel choir.
Gospel
I was
choir.
lied to.
Oh man.
Los Elk
Next time.
doesn't tell the truth. Okay, so should we do a couple more questions?
Sure, sounds
And
great.
then you guys can take it away. Be
Great.
our ending. Awesome. So, you were coming up with good questions earlier.
That's a lie. I have nothing prepared.
DJ Tanner,
DJ
okay.
Tana.
tell us about just like performing.
Cheese.
How does it feel?
Yeah. How does it feel to perform?
Tell us something.
Yeah.
So I'm
As a
As you
soul
know.
female.
Yeah.
yes. So I'm new in the band. I've joined 4 months ago. So performing at the level that they perform is very new to me. I was in school for mass communication, so I have a degree in
Me
that.
too.
Nice, I figured. Radio, nice. So I did get my degree in mass communications, and now I'm at Berkeley. I decided to go the music route. So performing is like very new to me, but I've been having so much fun.
Awesome.
I'm learning a lot with these guys. They make me jump, you know. we have to work on a few things, but we're getting there.
Definitely getting you out of your comfort zone, which
Yes,
is
for
when you
sure.
grow the most as an artist anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good.
So what's been a like memorable moment for you?
I think the best show that we've had so far was like a very memorable one for me was the Iron Horse that we had. I think it was the one that I was able to like really feel it and
That was dope.
and have like so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Iron
all
Horse in
very good,
Northampton.
but-
That was a great.
yeah,
That was a
that
great
was a
spot.
really
We
good
played
show.
with a group of friend of ours, Ripe.
Right.
They're a great band around Boston. You may have even heard of them. They're blowing up right now. Just sold out the Paradise with this other band, Lawrence, who we got to play with. Yeah, so they rock. They're dear friends of ours. Bondi used to live with them in a house in Alston, and now Gabe and I live there, and we also practice there, so we have a whole setup. We're, through and through a garage band, if you will.
Love it.
A legitimate garage band. Yeah, you know what show I really liked having you on for? It was actually your first show. It was Springfest. It was a big, or Oktoberfest. It was a big festival in Amherst with a bunch of UMass kids. We also have a big following at UMass. We play a lot of shows there, which is a lot of fun. And so we played an after party, which was in a barn. So, yeah, we got to play like a barn party, and there were people hanging from the rafters and lights everywhere, and people like up in nests in the rafters, dancing and swinging, and so it was just like
sweat dripping.
It looked like something out of like a college party movie.
Oh my! There's always something going on with the ceiling.
Yeah,
definitely.
Interesting.
Definitely.
Latifah, what happened at the one that you went to? Was there like candy falling down?
Well, there was one guy in the front. He was dancing, just so great, like so funny. Oh my god, he was like the life of the audience. It was just so fun to watch him.
Yeah, we have a few mascots who are up front and center
I
every
tell.
time.
I was like, you guys are definitely
going
regulars.
crazy, singing all the words.
Kenny too. I think you even said like, okay, Kenny, keep dancing.
Yeah.
Gotta make it personal,
Yeah,
definitely.
That's just the thing, you mentioned that you saw that we were having a lot of fun on stage, and that's our number one goal, is to just have as much fun as possible. And it's true, we don't have to fake it. Like, we love being on stage. We love playing together. And we want our audience to feel like they're not only seeing that, but they're a part of it.
Yeah.
It's very much like, we don't like the whole separation between stage and audience, If we like to get right up in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, energy is contagious, so.
For sure.
Totally.
And also, though, another interesting thing that I've noticed from, many years of playing at this point is that in terms of how at least it feels to perform, it's different every show depending on the context of the show. So, for example, I tend to get the most kind of jittery, or I feel like there's most on the line, or I want to just really do my best for shows that I know there are going to be a lot of people from just my life there and my past or whatever. So I moved to Boston from Manhattan, which is where I grew up, and we play in New York a lot. And every time we play in New York, I have people who and we play in New York a lot. And every time we play in New York, I have people who I perhaps haven't seen in many, many years coming out to watch me perform and just see what I've been up to, spending all my time on. And those are the types of shows that I tend to get the most jittery for, because I feel like there's just, I want to connect with them all so hard, and I want them to see, this passion that we feel and all this energy and creative input and all this stuff, that it feels like I just have so much that I want to give. And then on the other side, even moments like this where I don't really know you, lovely ladies, and again, it's very nice to meet you, but it feels almost more natural, because I feel like I can just very freely express like how we're feeling and what we're doing, and not have to worry about any sort of views on your end, because this is just kind of who we are, so take it or leave it. Whereas with all these other people from my past, there's just a lot of things on the line, I feel like. So it's interesting from a performance point of view. It's going to be different depending on the context.
Yeah.
I kind of get jittery in like smaller groups. If it's a big show, there's this dissociation for me. I can just be like, oh, I can't even make out all those people, so why even stress about it?
That's fair.
But a room like this, I'm a mess.
I'm sure. I don't
know if we get nervous anymore, or if it's more kind of jittery and antsy. Nerves, it's not like, oh, we're going to mess up. It's really excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I hate to cut you guys off. I'm so upset, but we are running out of time. So really quickly, we have to do our tradition on the show.
Sure. Okay.
So you have to fill in the blank. # on the verge of blank.
Oh, wow.
I know. It always throws people off.
Well, everybody has a different one, probably. Vondi, what are you on the verge of?
On the verge of explosion.
Beautiful.
Gabe, probably for you
Stream
too.
of consciousness. Stream
On
of
the verge of throwing up, I'm so hungover.
On the verge of breakfast. For me, still haven't eaten. Play hungry, they say.
Cheese, do you have one?
Cheese is on the verge of playing. Are we playing?
Yeah, we got time for one more?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll just go over time because it's worth it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody for listening to On the Verge. You've had an awesome episode, and we're going to leave you with Los Elk.
Thank you. And this last song is a new song, not recorded anywhere. So if you want to hear this, it's going to have to be at a live experience. So please keep in touch with us. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Los Elk Band. Find us. This song is called Deja Voodoo. And
exclusive.
It's one of my faves.
This one is also very emblematic of like the classic Los Elk sound. So this
I'm amped.
kind of give you an idea. It's bringing in our old school and our new school.
Very cool.
And again, thank you guys so much for having us.
Thank you for
Seriously,
coming.
this has been awesome. What a cool way to spend a morning for us.
Just because it's not going to
Cool. All right.
Sorry.
Cool. Should we go for it?
Yeah,
go.
Good.
All right. At first I just wanted your body. Now the traps that you lay, they surround me. And your methods never cease to confound me. You found me at a peculiar time. Or should I say I found you with no crew at 2 in the morning. Said you look for trouble on the night of a full moon, that's a warning. I've seen you before, couldn't tell you anymore. Your deja vudu's got me pinned. I'm bleeding on the floor, but still. And we're just being honest, I wanted you to myself. You didn't want me back, so you left me on the shelf. It's true, I could waste a while on you. Tell me, am I a number, another one in the line? Tell me, am I wasting all of my precious time? It's true, I could waste a while on you. It seems now you're awfully busy. You don't have to tell me you miss me, but I can tell by the way that you kiss me. You'll miss me at peculiar times. So what am I supposed to do? Sit and brood while you flip your apartments? Put me on the list of things that you've just got to accomplish. I'm just being honest, I'm done being modest. You give me the go, and just like that I'm on it. Cause, yeah, cheese. Tell me, am I a number, another one in the line? Tell me, am I wasting all of my precious time? It's true, I could waste a while on you, yeah. You shine naturally in the night. I can see a full moon fantasy, a distant dream coming back to me. You shine naturally in the night. I can see a full moon fantasy. Tell me, am I a number, another one in the line? Tell me, am I wasting all of my precious time? It's true, I could waste a while on you. Thank you so much. We're Los Elk.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.